Welcome to Super's Corner, a show about Hudson County Schools of Technology. With me tonight is Frank Gargiulo, Superintendent of Schools, and Dr. Joe Giammarella, the Principal of High Tech High School. Welcome to the show. I'm John Pluchino, your host, and this is our 6th season of Super's Corner, so I hope you enjoy it. I want to congratulate both of you. We'll start off the show. Blue Ribbon School, Secretary of Education Orrin Duncan has recognized High Tech High School as one of 286 schools designated for the National Blue Ribbon School. This Department of Education will honor schools on November 18th and 19th in Washington, D.C. It received the award for excellence in education, and it has been in existence for 31 years and has recognized over 7,500 schools in that time period. So congratulations. Congratulations to the school, the students, the teachers, everybody. So Frank, this is a pretty big honor, right? And for the school, and if you'd like to kind of talk a little bit on that.
Well, you know, the national government has a process of recognizing schools. It's actually two categories. The category we're in is a high performance area.
Right.
The school is a high performing school. I mean, listen, I feel great about it.
Right.
I mean, I feel great for the staff. I feel great for the parents. I feel great for the kids. You know, it's a feather in our cap. You know, to be recognized as a school. We have great kids and they perform. That's really basically what it says. And really what it does is it indemnifies the process.
Right.
That what we're doing is a good thing. And remember, we're a vocational school.
Right.
So we're a little different in that we're much more authentic in the learning piece in that. So the academic piece falls into that, which is mainly what they're measuring. They're measuring scores, kinds of things. But to be in a vocational school and get that recognition, to me, is a great feather in our cap, and I'm thrilled with it. I really am, yeah.
And Joe, congratulations. What's the process? Do they nominate you first and then you apply, or how does the process work?
The process is the state nominates you based on what they consider to be your performance over a period of time. The federal government either then agrees or disagrees with the state and sends you the invitation to apply.
Okay.
So
if the state disagrees with it, you can't apply? Or
well, the state would be...
Oh, the state
initiates.
Nominates it. Okay, I see. And then if the government, the federal government agrees, so then you apply, and then what happens after that?
Well, you have to fill out an application. It's an extensive application that's submitted right to the federal government. They review it, and then the final step in the process is whether or not you achieved your annual measurable objectives. Once the state says that you did, they forward the results to the federal government, and then that's when you get notified.
Wow. So that's really, and who is also involved in this process from the school?
From the school, Allison Crone, assistant principal, and 2 of our English teachers helped us with the writing of the application, making sure that it was presented in the most effective manner.
And obviously,
yeah, if it was up to me, they'd get about 2 warnings for each question.
Right.
But no, it was a very involved process.
Also, I believe High Tech was recognized by Jersey 10.
Yes.
Top 10 high schools.
Yes, that Jersey Can is a nonprofit organization. It's not affiliated with the government or anything else. They just get any information that's available to the general public from the New Jersey Department of Ed website, and then determines whether or not you are adequately servicing minority groups, disaffected students that happen to be in your school.
Frank, one of your comments that I got off of the website was that you said every great student has a great teacher in back of him, or there's a great teacher behind every
I don't know if I said that, but I think that's kind of true. I mean, generally speaking, as you go through education, all of us, somebody touches you along the way, if you're fortunate. And it's probably, in all your years, it's probably 1 or 2 teachers that affect you in a way that makes a difference in your life. You know, so I mean, I could point back to 60 years ago when I was in school. My actually football coach and history teacher was a great influence on who I was and what I was going to become.
Party couch.
Yeah, but I also had a fourth grade nun who had a great influence on me. I can't. She in a tough time in my life was like a stabilizing influence, and kind of. So I mean, I think it's like when I say that the teachers sometimes are not sometimes all the time are invaluable to the process. You know, I mean, it's not so much the grades or anything like that. It's more the relationship that makes the difference in somebody's life. Kind of at the end, the grades disappear. I mean, when you get my age, whatever your grades were, they were. Doesn't matter. Really, they have no bearing on anything. It has who affected your life in a most positive way. Usually, it's a person, a coach. You know, always our parents, I would think, but beyond that, in the realm of schooling, it's a whole different thing.
Then you're kind of swimming upstream, I think, a lot.
Well, you know, if you can't get somebody's attention, it's hard to move it another place. And how you get a person's attention is really through a relationship. It worries me today because a lot of stuff is done online, and it's kind of there's no personal contact there, and that's a big void somewhere along the line. To me, it's we're about ready to kill any creativity we have left.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
That's really good.
Because, well, creativity is an emotional thing. It's a thing that comes about. You know, it's hard to even identify. We try to measure it. In fact, I got a rubric upstairs that measures creativity. I don't know how you can measure it. It's just impossible. But relationships are an important piece of that because you're validated on what you're doing.
Well, we're going to stop right here. We're going to show a video. We had a very successful open house on a couple of weeks ago on Sunday. Had about 1,500 people, somewhere around at least 1,500 people coming through the school, seeing all our many resources and programs, and our radio station seemed to be a big hit. So we're going to show you a video on that, and we'll come right back. Okay.
I'm sure you guys all recognize that tune, right?
It's the fox. What does the fox say?
So we're here right now with some of our incoming freshmen, right? Our 8th graders applying, and today is open house. How are you guys feeling today? Why don't you go around and state your name and what school you go to? Let's start.
My name is Diva, and I go to Midtown Community School in Bayonne.
And your name?
I'm Israel, and I go to Franklin School in North Bergen.
Oh, I'm Shakiba, and I go to Midtown Community School as well.
Hi, my name is Cindy, and I go to Franklin School in North Bergen.
So what other schools are you guys applying to, and what's your top choice?
I'm kind of leaning towards Bayonne High School honors and the academy, but I'm checking out other high schools to see what they're like.
I'm also applying to County Prep in Jersey City and St. Peter's Prep, but I think I'm leaning towards high tech.
I don't know. I'm also trying to, decide between Bayonne High School and high tech, so I'm just kind of browsing.
High tech. We're better.
What schools?
I'm trying to apply on potty practice as well, and high tech.
Okay. So if you were to be accepted, what do you think that you would be majoring in? Broadcasting? Do you think you're...
Broadcasting is fun, but I'm leaning more towards like a science major, and I want to take like a culinary class or something fun as an extracurricular activity.
Yeah, I'll major in broadcasting, definitely, or engineering and technology.
I just love to speak. That's all. I love broadcasting.
Like to speak.
I don't know. I'm just really good at it. So something like this, really, I love to talk. So I like it.
Yeah, maybe broadcast, but like the girls find something for like science.
So, does anyone have any last things to say? Anything you want to add? Anything random?
What does the fox say?
Wait, can we get everyone just to scream out, what does the fox say? Okay, ready? 1, 2, 3.
What does the fox say?
Welcome back to Super's Corner, a show about Hudson County Schools of Technology. We're talking with Frank Gargiulo, Superintendent of Schools, and Dr. Joseph Giammarella, the principal of High Tech High School. We were, you just saw a film about the little video about the open house and how important is that to our school. Let's start with Joe. How important is an open house?
Well, the open house is important because it gives the 8th grade students the opportunity to come in with their parents, see the facilities, see what we have to offer, and really get to see the culture of the school. If you notice in the video, there were approximately 100 students in on a Sunday afternoon. Now, you would normally think they would want to be home or out with their friends, but they elected to come here on a Sunday afternoon and help showcase their school. And the teachers who were here were very much appreciated, and you could also see the interaction in some cases of the students with the teachers that were here. So it really demonstrates the family aspect of High Tech High School.
And the open house is a little different this year in that they could just kind of come in and out. It wasn't like guided tours like the previous years.
We found that guided tours sometimes put the parents in a situation that they don't need to be in. For example, if someone wants to see what the science program is like, we take them to the science program, the business area, the performing arts, the TV production, the radio station. They don't need to see that because the child is interested in it. And it worked out well because they came in, they picked up their applications, if they had any questions, I was in a resource room with the guidance counselors, and then they could either go where they wanted to go or leave. Some parents and prospective students have relatives that are here, so that there was really no need to see the building.
Let me tell you, it's quite a workout for the teachers. I bet for you, it is a workout. I saw Mr. DePiro was with us, our manager, our video guy here, and manager, and boy, you're sweating up a storm as well as I was. It was really a workup. I was very rewarding. It was very. Frank, I mean, I've taught under Frank now for about 35 years, or 30 years plus, and I got to say, he's created a culture where kids want to come to school. They want to come to school early. They want to stay late. They enjoy being in the school.
We have 650 students in High Tech. And out of that 650 students, there are at least 250 students who are here every day, from 3 to 5, whether they're in extracurricular activities, taking additional courses in the afternoon, or just sitting in the resource center or the media center doing work on their own with their friends. So it's great to see how much the students really appreciate what they have and how much they actually do here.
Frank, how did you create that culture? How did you go about it?
Let me tell you how I believe it needs to be done. And we're a society that loves rules. We love a lot of rules. And the principals of High Tech, from the one that's the Carol Brancato and Joe, were the only 2 principals we ever had here, but in all the schools we have. My belief is the least amount of rules, the better. So if you looked at High Tech High School, you'll see kids sometimes sitting in a little corner someplace, reading a book or studying, or if they don't have a assigned class, they're free to go to the cafeteria or any place they want to go. There's no dress code. Because the mentality in America today is order, accountability. The more you do that to the school, the more you change the culture. The more you change the culture, the different learning environment exists. I mean, these schools are factory models. If you continue to do that, What happens is the educational piece, that free-flowing piece that educators need to be successful, disappears. I mean, we run the county youth house. That is the ultimate in rules. You can't move in that building.
Right.
It's also the worst place to educate a kid. And the further away you get away. Now again, there's a balance, because you got to remember, some school has to be safe. You know what I mean? So there's a balance to it. But when you start to make too many rules, what happens is enforcing the rules become the curriculum, and we lose sight of the fact of what we're supposed to be doing. I mean, the only way kids are going to succeed in the world they're in is they got to love learning. Because it's a lifelong process today. They can't leave school and say, I'm done. They can't. And the day they leave school, the amount of information is doubled already that they have access to. So it's a thin line. But I push it in all the schools. And all the principals do it differently. Some like some other rules and stuff. But for the most part, our schools are relationship driven.
Right.
The principal, the teachers.
Right.
And that's what my goal was always that.
Yeah.
To become personal. I support the principals 1,000%.
Yeah.
Very, very much. Sometimes I'm at odds with my own central office over it. But the fact of the matter is, the culture of the school drives everything. It's not the curriculum. It's not anything else. It's how you embrace that, so people want to come to work. The fact that, and you mentioned the open house. What we didn't mention is the teachers that showed up here showed up voluntarily on a Sunday, and I would say we had a good number of teachers here.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Most of them were here. That's and clerical staff. It's a feather in their cap. They come in because they feel something for the school. They feel they want to give something to the school. They feel it's important, and nobody got paid.
You're right, and it was rewarding. I mean, it was very, it was very satisfying.
Well, you have to feel good about that. You have to feel good. I mean, from a superintendent's point of view, from administration and a staff that can get the kids moving in such a direction. I mean, it all culminates with I'm not big on rewards, you know how I am with that. But the fact of the matter is, it says something about who we are. And the fact that we're having this conversation about the culture of the school, to me, is, in my mind, the most significant piece of what education's about. Like I said, the more rules you make, the tighter your school gets, the less creativity comes out of that school.
And plus, you have to have consequences for rules that are broken. And
you have to be able to enforce the rules that you put into effect.
Right.
Well, what happens when you do that? You spend most of your time, like I said, doing that, and not on the curriculum. That's really the problem of it. That's really I'm not saying that dress codes aren't important or some other stuff is important, but you got to have a balancing act with that. You know what I mean? You have to have a balancing situation with that, because if you spend too much time on that, it really makes your school something different. It's like security. Now, everybody believes schools, we need to create security. We're putting cards on kids now, we're putting cameras up, we're doing all kinds of things. But I'm always sensitive that if you make it so tight, that you create a whole different place than what you need to have. So it's like I said again, I'm really pleased with high tech and county prep and career academy and CAS prep and AIS, all those schools we have, because all of them are based around relationships, all of them. And as we said earlier, that students will remember the one or two relationships they had that meant something to them. And it's just the way it is. It's the way life is.
By the way, you're going down to Washington November 18th and 19th, or you planning?
Yes.
Our program manager, Rob Myers, said he'd be glad to come down with you and bring his students. So I just wanted to let you know.
Yeah, I think Rob and I had a conversation about that. It's a very limited number of people who can go, so it was a great idea.
Right. So, and also you're planning for something, a celebration in the school for a ceremony or something like that.
Yes. Yeah. Probably after we come back from Washington, we're going to try to do something in the field house.
Right.
Invite parents, obviously the students and staff, and any dignitaries who would be available.
will be coming there. So I think it's great. It has many honors. You were silver medalist with the U.S. News, right? That was
Yes.
another.
I'm very fortunate. I'm very fortunate to be principal here. Everything seems to be falling into place over the last 3 or 4 years.
Yeah.
And this is just a culmination of getting the blue ribbon from the federal government. But it's really more about validating what we do here every day.
Yeah.
And it's the teachers, the students, the clerical staff, everybody contributes. And as Mr. Gargiulo said, it's the culture of the school. Everybody wants to be here.
Yeah.
So
Well, I'm going to end this segment here right now. Frank, thanks again for stopping on. Frank Gargiulo, Superintendent of Schools here, and Dr. Joseph Giammarella, the Principal, High Tech High School, Hudson County Schools of Technology. I'm your host, John Pluchino, and this has been Super's Corner. Thanks for watching. What will education look like in the future? How can today's schools prepare our youth, the nation's most important asset, for the skills and abilities necessary for the 21st century? The television show Super's Corner, produced by Hudson County Schools of Technology, presents this future with features on the cutting-edge technology programs integral to today's learning. Innovation, creativity, and vision are the ingredients needed for today's dynamic, ever-evolving educational environments. This will allow our youth to compete successfully in tomorrow's global economy. Let Super's Corner usher you into this new, exciting frontier of knowledge. And now a special presentation from Super's Corner.
So this is also our first coffee house. Shut up.
education look like in the future? How can today's schools prepare our youth, the nation's most important asset, for the skills and abilities necessary for the 21st century? The television show Super's Corner, produced by Hudson County Schools of Technology, presents this future with features on the cutting-edge technology programs integral to today's learning. Innovation, creativity, and vision are the ingredients needed for today's dynamic, ever-evolving educational environments. This will allow our youth to compete successfully in tomorrow's global economy. Let Super's Corner usher you into this new, exciting frontier of knowledge.